My name's Jason Grigsby. I'm one of the co-founders of Cloud4. We focus on mobile web, either building stuff using web for websites or using web technology to build applications, predominantly with PhoneGap or things of that nature. I also helped start Mobile Portland, which meets once a month talking about mobile technology and sort of live and breathe in mobile, like go to bed thinking about it, a little too obsessed about it. Mobile first design, as Luke Wroblewski sort of coined the phrase, was really about predominantly about the benefits that come from building things mobile because it creates more constraints. And as a designer, whenever you add constraints, it forces you to focus. Designing without constraints, which is sort of what people think they want, is actually just like mind-numbing, like paralyzed, right? Like you're looking at a blank sheet of paper. So what happens with mobile first design is that by starting with the smaller screen and the limited CPU and all these sorts of things, you're able to get a better result. You're able to build a better design. And then you also get to take advantage of the capabilities of those devices and do things that you otherwise wouldn't be able to do. When it comes to mobile first responsive web design, what really that's about is starting with the smallest assets, smallest images, the baseline style sheets, things like that, and then progressively enhancing that up based on screen resolution to desktop. And that's really important because there are a whole host of mobile devices out there that don't understand media queries. And so if you start with the desktop site and then you just add media queries to make it look like mobile, then the default experience is desktop. And for those older devices that can't understand media queries, they're going to get the desktop view. And that's actually, they're going to be the least capable of being able to handle that view. I've got to say that it's the stuff that I was talking about today where you see in developing countries people using mobile phones in a way that actually, saves lives, makes people's lives better. I feel like all the stuff that we do in the United States, while people are making tremendous business out of it and there's just tremendous opportunity associated with it, that are like that what we're doing is inconsequential to the people who are figuring out ways to use microscopes on a Nokia device and being able to take photographs of blood samples so that they can get a good diagnosis in the city when they're in the village. So they use MMS to send that to the city, and then they get the diagnosis back, and so they know how to treat somebody. From just like a general mobile perspective, I feel like mobile has the potential because of how ubiquitous it is to have an impact in the world that no other technology does. From a web perspective, I'm really interested in what happens when we start building stuff that interacts from device to device. So when we, instead of thinking about just building something for mobile or building something for desktop, what happens when we're actually building something for both, where the two are interacting? Or, the more common use case we have is, hey, somebody's on a television and I can use the mobile device to interact with the television. Right now we're at just the beginning of that, but smart TVs are about to take off. Mobile phones being used to interact with televisions, I think, is a really interesting and cool technology, and we already have people using their phones while watching TV. So I just think that there's we're at the tip of the iceberg when it comes to this stuff, and because of that, we've got a lot of stuff to explore. And compared to for as much as Web 2.0 was great for everybody, it was kind of boring by comparison, right? I mean, everything's really more difficult with mobile and devices and all the device diversity we have, but that challenge is also the fun part. So I like the fact that the web is not easy right now. And at some point, maybe it'll be easy again, but for the foreseeable future, it's just kind of a mess, and it's fun.